కేబీఆర్ పార్క్ వద్ద వాకింగ్కు వెళ్లిన సమయంలో దాడికి గురైన నటి షాలు చౌరాసియా ఆ వివరాలను ఈటీవీతో పంచుకున్నారు. హైదరాబాద్ నగరం దేశంలోనే సురక్షితమైందన్న షాలు ఈ కేసును ఛేదించేందుకు పోలీసులు కృషి చేస్తున్నారని వివరించారు. తాను చావు బతుకుల నుంచి బయటపడ్డానంటున్న షాలుతో ఈటీవీ ముఖాముఖి.
తెలుగు తెర ద్వారా ప్రజలకు పరిచినటువంటి షాలు చౌరాసియా ప్రస్తుతం మనతో ఉన్నారు. కేబీఆర్ పార్క్ వద్ద జరిగిన ఘటనలో తను గాయపడడం జరిగింది. దీనికి సంబంధించిన మరిన్ని వివరాలు ఆవిడ మాట్లాడేస్తున్నాం. ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ అంటే ఒక 3 days అవుతుంది ఈ ఇష్యూ జరిగిన తర్వాత పోలీస్ ఎలా రెస్పాండ్ అయ్యారు అండ్ సస్పెక్ట్కి సంబంధించి ఏమైనా డీటెయిల్స్ మీకు పంపడం జరిగిందా?
Oh yes, police is they are extremely hard working. I mean, this is heads off to the police, the government of Telangana, how they have taken this case so seriously. So they are working extremely hard from day one, right when we informed the police about the case. Within 15 minutes, dog squads were there. Entire team, I think multiple teams, I think 4 to 5 teams are working on the same case.
ఆ రోజు అసలు ఏం జరిగిందంటే మీరు అక్కడ ఏ టైంకి ఉన్నారు, ఎగ్జాక్ట్గా ఏం జరిగింది?
It was a daytime when I went around 6 o'clock. So it was a daytime. I parked my vehicle there and I went all the way to the main gate. And I spent some time near the main gate. There is all lighting there. I bought some water bottle and I spoke to my mother for about 45 minutes to 1 hour there. And that was the reason I got late. And when I was coming back, I did my walk there only. I was returning from that place. It was dark. It was 8:15, 8:30 kind of time. So the moment I was passing from there, somebody from behind came. And because I have headphones on, I did not realize somebody is running towards me or whatever. I did not know anything. The only thing I realized was somebody has closed my mouth with a cloth. And he is dragging me to the woods. So this side is the main road and this side is the woods, the entire forest. He was dragging me towards the forest, and that is when I realized that I'm being molested. So then I started shouting, but I had cloth in my mouth, so I was not able to shout also. But after some time, when he threw me, he just dragged me inside that. He pushed my head and he threw me on the rock. So it hit here very hard. Because of that, I got blacked out for like 1 second or 2 seconds. I did not understand what's happening. And that was the time when the cloth went out of my mouth and I started screaming for help. Then because I was screaming, he started hitting me more and more and more. So much. And so he held both of my hands at the back like this. And he was standing here at the back of me. Here. And he was asking for money. So I said, okay, I'll pay you money. What do you want? I'll pay you money. He said, I want 10,000. No, I said, what do you want? He said, double kawali. I said, okay, I'll pay you money, but don't hit me. I said, I'll pay you 10,000. He said, enmidi. So I was talking in Hindi, he was talking in Telugu. So maybe there was a miscommunication and he did not understand that I'm ready to pay him or whatever. He did not understand anything. Then I said, okay, I'll just phone pay you, please, please, please. So I somehow relieved one of my hand, and mobile was already there in my hand. So I started doing phone pay. I said, what is your phone number, account number? Tell me, I'll just transfer you money right now. He did not understand what I'm talking. He thought he was blank. I said, give me your phone number, give me your phone pay ID. He did not understand. He was still at the back of me. He was not coming here. He was not showing his face. So what I did is I dialed 100 number because phone was already in my hand. So I dialed 100 number. He did not understand. And after dialing 100 number for like 2 seconds, I waited. Again, I cut that call and I dialed 100 number one more time so that the police will understand that I am in need of them or whatever. The second time I dialed, he understood that she's calling for help. So he immediately snatched my phone. And he snatched my phone and started beating me like hell. Then again, he started banging my head against the rock. So I got unconscious, like completely unconscious. And I fell down on ground. And I don't know, for 1 second, my eyes were closed. I was completely devastated. I gave up. Actually, I gave up that point of time because I was so in excruciating pain. My leg was paining. It was already broken. My right leg was broken in the process. My head was paining here like anything. And he was also hitting me. If you can see, the marks are here everywhere. So I just gave up for like some time. And that was the time when he started physically molesting me. And because if somebody touches you, you understand, right? So that was the time I woke up and I decided I'm not going to let this thing happen. No matter what, if I die, but I'm not going to let this thing happen. I woke up and he saw that she has woken up. He picked a big boulder, a very big stone, boulder, and he wanted to kill me there only. And he uttered this thing from his mouth: I'm going to kill you and burn you. I'm going to kill you and burn you, otherwise you will go out and complain about me. He has thrown that stone towards me, and I just pushed aside. I moved myself aside, because otherwise my head would have been smashed out that day. His intention was to kill me completely, because maybe he did not want to he did not want to get caught or whatever. So he threw that stone on my face, and I moved myself aside, and that was the time I pushed him, with my elbow. I hit him on his soft spot. So because of that, his grab, he relieved me because of the pain. And the moment he backed up, I immediately ran towards the main walkway. And when I was running, I understood that I can't run because my right leg was fractured. So I was not able to walk also, forget about running. And he was coming back. But anyhow, I ran. I saw this side, nobody is there. So even if I run this side with a broken leg, he will come again and he will again pick me up, right? So that was the reason I decided, because there is a main road, I can see the main road here in front of me. I thought that's the only escape of me. I cannot do anything else. I just went towards the fence and I started shouting, help me, help me, help me, help me, help me. Because of that shout, he stopped there, because he understood if somebody listens, if somebody comes, what will happen. But still, when I was shouting, the autos were running from there, but nobody was stopping, because maybe they did not understand that somebody is calling for help, because it was complete dark there. So what I did was I jumped onto the fence, and 2 times I tried, I fell down. Because of my leg, I was not able to. But 3rd time, anyhow, with the help of a rock, I jumped onto the fence. And after jumping onto the fence, I jumped onto the main road completely. And I fell down.
What is the height of fence, and how you jumped from there?
See, my height, I don't know what is the height, but it is, if I am 5'7", it would have been around 9. It would have been around 9. Yeah, the fence. But it has blocks, iron blocks in that. With the help of iron blocks, I moved my body up and I jumped. It is not easy, but I did it anyhow, because my death was there. He completely smashed me out that day. If that boulder would have hit my head, I would have been dead. That same, on the spot, dead. There was nothing else for me. But I could only see one hope, that people are there, people are running, and they are running that side. They cannot hear my voice, so I have to go, and I have to go in, I have to go near to the fence, and then only if I speak, maybe somebody can understand. And that is the time when 2 times after falling down, 3rd time I jumped and I sat on the railing, because I did not have courage to jump down, because if I jump down here also, I might get dead, right? Who knows, maybe I'll break my hands or legs or whatever. So I jumped from that fence. I saw, okay, there is nothing. If I fell down this side again, this guy will catch me, because he was still waiting. He did not go. He was still waiting. So I jumped onto the main road. I fell down there and I did not even get up. I was just sitting on the main road, just sitting there idly and crying there. There were people who came, and then they saw what happened. Madam, we have heard some scream or something. I said I was the one who was screaming for help. So then they saw there that person was gone by the time. So that's how it has happened. So people are saying that the person has snatched my phone and he has ran away. It was not the case at all.
Is this only about robbery, or it's about physical molestation, or do you think it's about professional rivalry also?
See, one thing I want to tell here is, person doesn't know me and I don't know anybody, because I am in movie industry and I really don't have any personal enmity with anybody, or nobody is my enemy to find me and come and kill me in KBR Park. It was for sure the case of robbery, but it was not only snatching my phone away and running away, it was not only for phone. Maybe he only came for robbery, but when he saw that I'm already half dead, I'm unconscious and I'm just, I'm not at all conscious, maybe I'm dead, then he tried physical molestation, but I immediately woke up. So he couldn't do that also. But definitely there was an intention of killing me. So he came with the intention of robbery and killing, because he wanted to kill me completely, because so that I cannot go out and then again, tell police or anybody, and I cannot seek for help. That was his intention.
True, sir. Have you seen his face? How he is looking like?
No. So, for information, I will tell that the moment he chose, he was brilliant person, he chose the spot very intelligently, that he knew there is no light, A, and B, there is a place to go inside the woods, and there is a shop, a closed tin shop there, behind which if we do something nobody will understand. So he chose that spot, and maybe he waited until I'm passing that spot, and there only he dragged me. So it was his plan already to drag me into the darkness, and it was extreme dark there. I could not see his face properly, but I remember his physique and his sound, his voice, his hair, and all those things, shirt, pant, all those things. Thank you so much.
ఇది కేబీఆర్ పార్క్ వద్ద జరిగినటువంటి ఘటనకు సంబంధించి షాలు చౌరాసియా చెప్తున్నటువంటి వివరాలు. కెమెరా పర్సన్ రమేష్తో రమ్య, ఈటీవీ న్యూస్, హైదరాబాద్.